Okay, I'd like to touch on one more thing. I just shared with you the Mecca. I'm sitting in what I call the vacation chair. Mind this plastic shelf. I'm not the biggest fan, but we're hoping to replace it. We have a couple of shelves coming in shortly here. This is a vacation chair. You sit in and you're just like, why am I so tired? Like, oh yeah, it's because I'm on vacation. Yeah, so one of my videos, you can't hear it because there's music too loud, and editing was annoying because I turned down the volume and it still showed up really loud. I was trying to explain why we have neck and headaches all the time in conjunction with craniosacral therapy. At the back of our skull, in the occipital region, so the base of the skull where it meets the spinal cord or our neck, cervical spine, we have like the sympathetic nerve runs down either side, which is the fight, flight, freeze, fawn side of our nervous system within the autonomic nervous system. And so fight, flight, freeze goes off faster than the speed of light in the area of the brain, which can activate the limbic system, putting that signal into the amygdala, where we either go problem solving or we go freaking out because the house is on fire sort of experience within ourselves. And this can happen pretty quickly. So when that goes off because of stress of work, stress of all the things we need to do, because we're behind on our schedules, because of this, and that, something's scaring us, something's worrying us, which is pretty normal for a lot of us. Not everybody has a regulated nervous system. That will activate the sympathetic nerve. It clenches into the vertebrae, those muscles, those ligaments, everything will tighten up, and that ends up like putting your neck out, making your shoulders hurt, giving you a headache because the occiput, the base of the skull, is connected inside your skull to another bone called the sphenoid. The sphenoid is this big butterfly-shaped bone that carries your pituitary gland. That bone's also connected in front of that one to another joint with a bone called the vomer bone in the middle of your nose. It's like this flat, thin bone. Those bones are all three supposed to synchronistically move as the cerebrospinal fluid is entering in and around the brain and back down. However, those nerves are activated. Everything's going to be angry. The myofascia clenches. The signals in the neurons are like the synapses, they respond to memories. They respond and excrete hormones. They let us know if we're safe or not. They excrete through our skin, and that's all related to the brain sending signals down through the brainstem and not the nerves and into the myofascia. So what we're looking for here in Cranio is a gentle touch that reminds the body and the brain that there actually isn't an emergency happening right now. And when something in your mind realizes and your brain, oh, actually right now I'm just here right now. Oh, that big sigh that I just did, that's parasympathetic. So that like literally is an example of me being in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, even though there's no big emergency, and switching to like rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic, the opposite, the switch, which we're looking for at the base of the skull. What I'm looking for in Cranio is a subtle movement that then ends up being quite dramatic. It's not all subtle. It begins subtly, and then all that muscle, all those tissue, all the ligaments, everything in there that's really, really tight. Sometimes the cervical spine is really long on only one side and tight on another. The nerves through the myofascia communicating to the brain that I'm there, that we're working on this, it lets the myofascia switch from that solid form. Sorry, I was just repotting plants. My fingers are dirty. So it goes from that solid state and starts to release and do what's called cranial unwinding. And once it finishes, that solid state goes from like a thick, solid texture, which you can feel at the back of your neck if you're stressed out right now. And then it just kind of releases and goes into a liquid state, which allows all the muscles to balance themselves, recalibrate. I say recalibrate when I do Cranio because it's kind of like your brain and your nervous system is recalibrating. I don't know if you've ever been a waitress and you have to like hit the screen to hit the buttons to put in your order for your customers, and like it's not working, or maybe on your phone, and then you have to hit a recalibrate button and you have to click wherever the X is so that then the computer system is lined up with your actual touch versus when you touch here, it activates here. That's kind of what we're doing in the brain. Anyways, once that releases, the sphenoid inside the skull can relax, as well as the vomer bone. This will end up releasing migraines. We may want to do a bit more work on the sphenoid, of course, because sphenoid's out. It's going to be pushing on any other bone inside your skull, as well as affecting the pituitary gland, which is connected to the hypothalamus. These glands are going to be responsible for your sex hormones, as well as like your body temperature, your mood regulation, as well as your sensory around you, like your balance, everything. So yeah, it's great for post-concussion, it's great for PTSD, it's great for postpartum depression. This can be really helpful for balding and sleep disorders, anxiety disorders, ADHD, asthma, scoliosis, injuries from the past, current injuries. Of course, if you have had a head injury, you maybe want to wait 3 months, because the brain does take a really long time to heal, like way longer than bones. If you break your bones, they'll be healed in 2 weeks to however many weeks, but your brain's going to take much, 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 much longer. So we want to wait for that inflammation to come down. So yeah, that's it. The sphenoid and headaches and migraines and the tension in your neck. As soon as that nerve switches, you're going to notice your neck doesn't hurt anymore, and you can sleep. You can fall asleep. You might just feel tired a lot more, but in a good way, like in a healthy way. So anyways, I hope that helps. And if you want to come by and try some craniosacral you know where to find me. We're on 5th Street, across the road from Bigfoot Donuts. You can see this big, beautiful mural when you're on Fitzgerald of the Comox Valley. That's our building. That's our studio upstairs. It's beautiful in here. It's sunny. We have lots of natural elements, and the energy is beautiful. So yeah, I hope to see you soon. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.